In today's guitar lesson, you'll learn how to play Is Never Too Late by Tommy Emmanuel. Next to the tutorial, there is also a tablature available, but more about that right after this quick playthrough. Enjoy. My name is Andre and welcome at Your Guitar Workshop. If you're into Tommy Emmanuel tutorials, make sure to subscribe and not miss out on any upcoming lessons. Also, I have 8 other lessons ready to go. Songs like Angelina, Those Who Wait, Classical Gas, Day Tripper, and more. For tablature, follow the link in the description or check any of the links that would be popping up somewhere here on the screen. Now, today we'll do the main parts of the song, and in the next lesson, we'll finish up the rest of the tutorial. Are you ready? Then put your brain into focus mode, and let's get started. Here we go. What I forgot to mention is that normally this tune is played with a capo in second position on the guitar. However, for this tutorial, I decided not to put a capo on this guitar because, well, it just kind of messes with explaining positions and such, so I decided to do the tutorial without the capo. You can practice it, and then once you know how to play it, just slap on the capo, and that's that. We'll start with the intro first, and once I've played that, we'll go through the chords, and then we'll get into how to play that all on the guitar. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what do? So you start off with a B minor flat 6. So that's pointer finger in second of A, ring finger in fourth of D, then open G, and then middle finger in third of your B string. Right, so that's your first chord. And you play that for 2 bars, then you switch to C, add 9, sharp 11. It's a mouthful, but that's pretty much what it is. So that's pointer finger in third of A, ring finger is in fourth of D, open G string, and then your middle finger is still in third of your B string, right? Then we basically go back to that B minor flat 6. However, we add an open E string to it, which kind of turns it into an E minor 9, right? E minor 7 with a 9. But the shape is the same. The only thing is just that we include the open E string. And the next chord is back to our C add 9, sharp 11, only now we include the open high E string, okay? All right, so now for the picking pattern. So grab that B minor flat 6, and what you do is you play A and B together, then you play D, G, and then A, B, D, G, right? Now A and bass with thumb and middle finger. Then you play thumb, pointer finger, thumb, middle finger, thumb, pointer finger. You play it twice. Then we switch to that C at 9 sharp 11. So move your pointer finger up a half step. And there, the first time we play the exact same picking pattern. And the second time we start the same, but now we play A, E, and then D, G. Right? So the second time it sounds like this. All right? So those 4 bars, 3, 4. Then we go back to that B minor flat 6, or as I mentioned before, E minor 9. And there also the picking pattern is exactly the same, with the exception of the first beat. Instead of playing A and B together, you play E and B together, right? So there we get. All right, then we switch to C add 9. So move that pointer finger up again. And then we get that variation again where we play ring finger high E, so like this. And then we finish off playing A and B together. Hold it, and then play open B string, make a hammer with our middle finger in third, like that. So like this. So those 4 bars together, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that concludes the intro section. Next up is the verse. I'll play the first 4 bars for you first, and then we'll dissect and see what is what. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what do you play? You start off with that B minor flat 6 chord, right? And you play A and B together. And then what you do is with your pinky, you make a hammer on in 5th position of that B string, right? Then you play D, E, then A, B. And when you play that B string, that is without the pinky on it, right? So you get. Then you play the D string again, and then you make a hammer on with your pinky on the B string again in 5th position, so like this. Once more. Now what I do here is I have my ring finger for the E string, middle finger for the B string, pointer finger for the G, and then my thumb is playing either the A or D string, right? So last time. Then we go to just a normal E minor chord. You don't need the full thing, so you can just fret 2nd position on the D string if you want. And you play E and B together. And then you sort of do a small strum on D and G, so like this. Then you play E, D, D, G, like this. And that's thumb, pointer finger, thumb, and then pointer finger, like that. So then you go back to that B minor flat 6, and it starts the same, right? Then you put your pointer finger on 2nd position of your E string, back to the D with your thumb, and then you play that once more, but you make like sort of a grace note pull up there. So you get. Then we go to that B minor flat 6 again, but now we play the low E string, so we play E, B, D, and then open B, like this. Then you just let go of everything sort of, and you play open E, open D and G, and back to open E, so like this. All right? So those 4 bars together, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now the second half of that first verse, and that goes like this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what do you play? So you start off with a G add 9. So that means you have your pointer finger in second position of your G. Your middle finger is going to be in third position of your low E string. And you have an open D and B. The picking goes like this. So you play E and G together. Then you play D, B. And then you get E, G, D, and then open G. Like this. All right? And the fingers is so thumb and pointer finger, then it's thumb, middle finger, then thumb, pointer, like that. Then you go to a normal A minor chord, right? And there you play this. All right, so what you do there is first you play A and B together, thumb and middle finger. Make a pull off with your pointer finger. Then you play D, G. Then you play open A, open G. Then you move your pointer finger to second position of your D string. And then your middle finger goes on to second of G. And then you have your pointer finger free to go to second position of your low E string. Right? Now, I believe that Tommy plays that second position on the low E with his thumb. I'm on a classical guitar right now, so that's a little bit trickier. But also when I was playing on the acoustic, I don't know, I'm just not as used to using my thumb the whole time. For him, it's like, that's sort of like how he plays. So I usually don't do it on the seal string either, but that is an option that you have. So you can either fret that one with your thumb, and then probably you would have your pointer finger on second of your G string, or you can do it the way I did it and then have your pointer finger on the low E string, middle finger on the G, and ring finger on the D. Okay, so those two bars together, so that's bar 13 and 14 of your tablature. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that second position of your E string is the first beat of bar 15. So let me play that for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So essentially you just have a D over F sharp there. So that's ring finger in a third of B, middle finger in second of G, and your pointer finger is in second of your low E string, right? And what you play is the following thing. You play E, D, B, and then E, G, D, B. That's bar 15. All right? 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and then you play E, G, D, G, all right? And then you remove your ring finger, you play E and B together, hammer on with your ring finger in third, and then you strum D and G, all right? So, and that's the last part of verse 1. So, bars 13 through to 16 together, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we land into verse number 2. And it is very similar to verse 1, but it is different. So let's just start with bars 17 through 20 first. Go through them and then move on. Here we go. All right, so what do you play? You start off with that C add 9 sharp 11 chord, right? And you play A and B together, make a hammer with your pinky in 5th. Then you play D, E, A, B, but that B is again just that middle finger, so that pinky you will have to remove, right? So once more. And then you finish off with playing the D string, okay? Then you go to an E minor add 9 chord. So that's pointer finger in 2nd of A, ring finger in 4th of D, and you play the whole thing. And what you do first is sort of you do just a stroke like that, and then you strum the top part of the chord. Then you play D and then G and B together, and then strum D, G, and B, right? So you get. Then we go back to that C add 9 chord, and you play. Then we go back to that C add 9 chord, and we kind of already played this, but then with the B minor flat 6 chord, like this, right? You do the same thing now, it's just your pointer finger is now just moved up a half step, and that's the only difference, right? And then that last bar is also the same, so you play open E, 3rd of that B string, then D string, open B, and then it's E, D and G, E, right? So, right? So those 4 bars, 3, 4. Then we go back to that G add 9. So there's everything is the same. Then we go to A minor. And that is different. So you play A and B together. Make that pull off. Then you play D, G, open E, open G, and then playing that D string again. 2nd of D, right? Then you switch to, right, to your D over F sharp. Could just be part of the chord, so that's pointer finger in 2nd of G and thumb on 2nd of E, or middle finger on 2nd of G and pointer finger on 2nd of E, whichever you prefer, right? And you kind of sort of arpeggiate it like that, and then you play this part. Right? So that is 2, 3, 5, and 7. Now, I believe that Tommy plays at least the first couple of notes with his pick, and then the last ones with his fingers. The way I'm playing it at the moment is just, usually I just play them all with my fingers because, I don't know, it just makes more sense to me, but he plays it with his pick. And when I say it makes more sense to me, it just feels more natural to me. I don't necessarily think it sounds better or that's the way he should have played it. It's just, different strokes for different folks. Is that the expression? Anyways, so those last 3 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now for the first part of the chorus, I'll play it for you, and then we'll get into how to play that on the guitar. Here we go. All right, so what do? Obviously, we had the pickup towards the chorus in the previous section, and that ended up with playing that 7th position on the E string, and you do that with your pinky, and then you create this chord here, which is A minor at 9. So that's your pinky in 7th of E. Pointer finger is barring 5th position of your G and B string, and then your ring finger is playing 7th of your D, and we have an open A string. And that 7th position of E is played on the 4 end of the previous bar with your ring finger, and then you play this. All right? So, after playing that ring finger, it's open A, then G and B together, then D, then you play B and E together, and then while you play that A string, you make a pull off with your pinky, right? So, then you play G and B again, then D, and then open G as you switch to the next chord. Then what you do is you fret low E string, 3rd position, and pinky does 5th position of your E string, right? And you have open D, G, and B. So this is a G at 9, right? So, and then you get, so you play E and E together, then G, D, then B and E together. Then while you play that low E string, you make a pull off with your pinky. And then your pointer finger is all ready for that 3rd position of E, right? So, followed by G, D, and then you play G again, and then you should make a hammer with your pointer finger, like that. So, then we go to D over F sharp. So that is basically your normal D chord as you would play it, but then adding your thumb on F sharp on your low E string. And there you play this. So what do you do there? So you play E, G, B, and E together. Pinky makes hammer on in 3rd. Then you play the D string. Then you play G, B, and E again. And then while you make a pull off with your pinky, you play the low E string. So, right? Pull off with your middle finger to make that E string. And then you play D and B together with thumb and middle finger. Ring finger should still be on that 3rd position there. And then playing open E with your ring finger, right? So, once more. Then we get this part. So what do you do there? It's just a normal A minor chord. You play the A string and you sort of do a strum with your fingers upwards, right? So then you play the D string. You do the same thing for the B and E string, sort of up picking. So then you play the low E string. Then you put your pinky in 3rd of your high E string. And then you slide that up towards 7th, preparing for another round, right? So you get, and then you get this again. So once you arrive here for the third time, you get this part. And that is the interlude. So let me play that interlude for you first, and then we'll get into how to play that on the guitar. Here we go. All right, so here we go. So it starts with A minor, add 9. So that's basically your normal A minor chord. Remove your ring finger, put your pinky in fourth of the G string. And you play A, D, G, B, E, B, G, D, low E, like that. And then you do that once more, the first part of it. And then you get to the section with all the pull-offs and the hammer-ons. Right? So you have pointer finger in first of your B string, ring finger in second of G. And you play them, make a pull-off to open. Then you play them again, make a pull-off to open, play them again, and then slide from there up a whole step, right? Then we go to an E minor chord, normal E minor chord, play low E string, then you play D, G, and B, and then you play B, G, D, B, right? So then you go to an A minor chord, and then you play this. Right? So you play A string, G and B, then you play the D string. Then you make a pull off with just your ring finger and your pointer finger, so your middle finger stays put. Then you put your ring finger and pointer finger back on, play them along with your low E string. Make a pull off, then put them back on and play them again together with your D string. And then you slide them up the whole step, right? So and then you go back to that E chord, E minor chord, and then B, G, D, E. Then you play that E minor chord once more. You play E, G, D, G. Then you play B and A string. Make a hammer on with your pinky or ring finger in third of B. And then you play the D string. All right? So that interlude, 3, 4. And then it just all starts over again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record the last parts for this tune next week, probably. And because I still need to do some prep work there. But I hope this helped you out for the big first section. And then we'll get back next time and finish the tune. Wishing you a great week or weekend, and I hope to see you again sometime. Bye.